All right, here we go. Start streaming. Well,
yeah, weather's been crazy just with the 75 and
I
then
saw
30.
that GIF you posted of somebody cleaning their driveway with snow. I thought, Jesus, it's snowing in Waco?
No, that was something that I said I need something stronger in my coffee,
Oh.
and that was alluding to the booger sugar.
Oh, I got
Because if you saw, he was doing it with like a
I
knife.
I saw it. I saw it. All right. Well, let's see. Get a few in here, I would imagine. Get some members in. Good markets were good today. I had a great morning. I'm telling you, I got a day trading piece that I got to turn you on to. It's so simple. It'll piss you off that you didn't recognize it earlier.
Yeah, send it over.
It's I did a video of it showing it to Baby Whale. He's chewing on it. It's gonna piss you off that you didn't see it earlier. All right. Hey, there's some peeps. There we go. All right. And the regular crowd shuffles in. Hey, guys. Glad you're here. All right. So let's see. I got disclaimer up. All right. We'll let a few more join us here. We're at 11. I'll start around 20. So another minute or two. There we go. Gravity Anti. I'm starting with you, my friend. I'm curious what you're thinking there. How are we doing? Oh, 21. Okay, there we go. All right, let me get the disclaimer off here now that you all have been so entertained by that. Okay, Gravity Anti. I'm starting here. So I probably should just, I guess, in case we have new people joining. I know we have a lot of members on, particularly when we're live, and I think it's YouTube subs watch later in the day. But again, the idea here is it's not like someone submitting homework and me reviewing it. It's more an idea exchange. So I like to see, there is a piece of that if someone's brand new to the content and they're just getting started with Elliott Wave. There can be some guidance there, but really it's more the idea exchange. We see what members are looking at, how they're approaching it technically. Maybe there's an alternate or another way to look at it I can offer. But particularly for YouTube subs or people that are kind of, they're curious as to what we're doing over here and how we approach the markets. This is a great way to see it, and you're not seeing it from me necessarily. You're seeing it from people that are applying what we're teaching, and I think that's better both in terms of the members retaining what we're teaching them, because you got to demonstrate it here. And we have some that are reluctant to post, but most, the ones that really get the most benefit are the ones that post regularly, and their work just gets better and better and better. Now, here I've got Gravity Anti, who's definitely spent some time studying Elliott Wave. I like your work. I like everything you're doing here, and I particularly appreciate the effort that you're putting in over here. When I post up, okay, post us what you've got. I generally, and I was just talking to Money Crypto about this, I'd be happy with an arrow that posted up or down so I knew which direction you were thinking. I really appreciate all the detail you're putting in here, because this is, well, one, this is good for you, first and foremost. Two, this is a great benefit to other traders or other students who are kind of wrestling with this, going, okay, why is he coming up with this count? So I really appreciate what you're doing here. Now, the one thing we got to get you to do that, and I know you're new to this, so or to how we approach this, I got to get you to send me something other than the image. Now, if you look in this channel, Gravity Anti, up on the pinned tweets, if you click that little pinned, a little push pin kind of thing. The exact process as to how to do it, so I can get a live chart. Right now, all I have is an image, so I can't work with this, or you know what I mean. So with that said, so what I did here, because I was curious how you were interpreting this, I had to try and recreate what you were doing here. My count's a little bit different. Again, it's not that one's right and what's wrong. It's just I was looking at this, and so per the way you're counting it, it's 1, 2. Let's see, you guys can see what I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in a. Jesus, are we? Yeah, I think you've got us at 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see that 5. Yeah, here it's way down here. So you've got us in a pretty substantial extension here in the 5th, which seems
We still
perfect.
see his chart. Maybe it's not updated yet. Hang on.
Did he give me a live chart?
No. I don't see your chart yet. Maybe there's a big lag. To
Oh no. I'm still working off of his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to carry his thought all the way through. I know. See, I can't draw on this either. So I wanted to attend to this with all this great detail working here. This is perfectly valid. Now and it's a tricky count actually. There's a few tricky spots here. Now we are getting into. So if I counted this out like this, and I had this big of an extension in the 5, I'd look at that, and that would immediately make me want to revisit it again, come back and say, okay, well, there's one possible scenario, but the length of the 5 relative to the 1 is so gigantic. Maybe there's another way to count this, and that would all be in the context of where are we seeing? If this is going to be an impulse, how does that fit into the broader price action in terms of the overall trend? So I think perhaps better here. Here, this is my count, which is almost identical to yours, except I'm not suggesting it's an impulse all the way through. So the first question is, per your count here, if this is all coming down and this is all one giant impulse, which again, this count is perfectly valid. Well, if this is all one impulse, how does that fit in? So now note here, I am in log scale, and you did not give it to me in log. So I did this just to kind of get a better feel and say, hey, where exactly are we going? Now, I don't know if there's additional history beyond what there probably is, beyond when Dot hit Coinbase. I'm not positive. I don't know, Monty, maybe take a look at that. But if this is, well, at the end of the day, what are we doing here? Is this just swing and correct? That would be my first thought. Now, can we get an impulse up here? Because if this is, let's scroll it all the way back here.
So I've got Bitfinex, August 19th. What's the beginning of that one?
This one is June 16th of 21.
Of 19 or 20?
Sorry, that's of 21. That's when it hit
Okay,
Coinbase.
so Bitfinex has August 2020.
Okay, so that might make a difference here. So let's do
It
that.
definitely changes it because it looks like there's
Yeah.
either this was a flat at the top or it was a 5.
Dot to Finex. Okay, so let's look at that.
Dot USD, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get some more context here. So let's get out to a daily. Okay, so this looks like this is where you started. Oh shit, here. Oh, God damn it. Somewhere in here, I think looks like you started right here. Okay, so your count is starting right here based on what followed here. Now I'm not in log scale here. So let me just let's just put a little dash here. All right, so I don't get lost here. Now I would still, right, because we have the range, want to look at this in log scale. So this does, I think, clarify a bit. Well, so right off the bat, your first thought would be, oh, could that be it? Could that be it? Oh, okay. I mean, it's a contender, without really digging into the subdivision here. Now, that sure looks like a contender for a 2 rather than a 4. Sorry, guys. I don't want to hack into the phone or into the mic, so doing a little allergy management there. Now that well, could we get it done, right? So for 5, oh shit, we're gonna have to dig into it. I mean, this already, it was so. Here's what does that look like? Right, looks a lot like the Bitcoin correction, doesn't it? Right. So we get a new high here. So right off the bat, in this, well, Monty will get a chuckle out of this because we were just talking about this. We couldn't do a zigzag, right? Because the B wave is too high, right? So you couldn't be thinking 5, 3, 5. You might be thinking about a flat, but the implication would be we'd be coming back towards this, or this immediately catches my eye. Oh, that kind of shit doesn't happen randomly. So let's just have a look here, right? So, shit, come here. One day I'll learn that. Well, it looks like 1, 2. Well, let's just throw it up here and just see if it plays. Well, just right off the bat, here is deeper than you'd want. That looks like that would be 3. This is a tricky one. Right, no matter how you slice it. I liked it better when we were just doing it from here because I had a solution. Well, let's just see if we can make this work here. So we're just. One thing you'll notice is that I do the same thing always. Okay, so I got a contender here, but how am I going to get there? So it's tempting to just immediately throw the 3 here because that looks like triangle. We go into a 4, so maybe you got something like this. Oh, I'm just going to have to do this on the fly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that does finish with a 5. Although you could probably squeeze that into an ABC. Let's just take a look here. So right off the bat, as you guys hear me talk about this, I want this to all stay connected. When I'm doing this, it makes me think that I'm into another leg here, because something likely has finished here, but I don't know that I can get an impulse in here. Oof. Let's just take a look there. Oh, let's go down. Let's go to a 12-hour. See if we get any more insight there. Could you get a 1 out of that? Well, it looks like you've got an impulse here, so it looks like you could start. Let's see if we can make it work. It looks like you could start right here. Just standard ops. Where are the 5s? Can I identify the 5s and the 3s? Right, just help kind of guide it. Sure looks like. Let me see. Right, so maybe you've got a flat here. No. Actually, you could have a triangle there. Actually, looks like you've got one. So you got, now is it part of the broader? Oh, here, we'll just do it that way. It looks like you might be able to get the 1 there. Oh, it's kind of ugly. I can't say I love that. It looks like that's what you got. That looks like a 5, so it looks like it's in here. Yeah, it may not be long enough, but let's just take a look here. Yep, that looks pretty good. So if that's the 2, right? So what do we do right here? 1, 6, 1, 8. So it looks like that could play. All right, there's it's either the 2 or the 4, so that looks like that could play. 1, 2. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like I could finish it right here. Oh, I don't want all of that above this pivot. So 3, 4, let's put it here. So I've only got 1. So I'm only, oh, fuck, God. Someday I'm going to get that. So perhaps here we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Gravity anti, I'd like to see your count with the whole thing. Might change what we're doing here.
He did post.
Oh, he did?
A new link. If you click on it, it's currently Bitcoin, but you can you can save it and then go to .USD. And I think he said Binance has more work that he's done, so you can search there.
So let me go. Oh God, I got my Bitcoin over here. So let's go. Oh, what am I doing here? .USD, and he likes it on. There's more data on Tether on Binance. I mean,
I think he's just got more work done.
Oh, okay.
That you might be able to pull up.
But see, I can't get it. I can't get his. Oh, unless he gave me.
Because right now you're on the right screen, so push the bottom.
But see, he didn't. All I got is an image, so I don't have a way to get his work unless there's another link.
He posted at the link at the very bottom of vote. So if you go to the very bottom.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, vote. Oh, I see it. Okay, there we go. Okay, copy link. Okay, let's try that again. All right, now there we go. So I got to make a copy here, and then we're going to get to his dot. There it is.
I think .USDT at Binance.
Yeah, there it
should have work.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now this all starts to make sense. Okay, so let's go back to that 12-hour where we were. Okay, so coming off the low. Right, that's well, good timing, right? That's just what I was. Oh, where'd it go? Shit. That's just where I was headed here. Well, that's that count. Here, well, let's just stay with yours. Okay, so 1, 2, right? I was trying to get to, what do we have here? So he's going A, B. Okay, now this makes sense. All right, now it all comes together. Okay, so I like what you've done here. That's good work here. I'm going to hide that just for a second, so I can see in here a little bit better. Okay, do those bulls want to see this broken? Yep, no doubt. Okay, so we're doing 1. So we're still in the correction. So that's kind of where I was headed with that. So thus, okay, well that makes a lot more sense. So let's come here, right? So this it was a real stretch to try and get that into an impulse, which is I had one there, but you had to kind of fudge with this. Oh, okay, so I'm with you here. So let me go down to a 4-hour here. Okay, so we go. We're coming off of the A. So we're trying to get to A, B, C. I'm gonna get that. Is that locked? It's locked. Okay, so let me get that C up here. Of the, I think that's locked too. Here, so let's get the B. I guess we'll do it this way. Man, big numbers. You're big number guy. Okay, big degrees. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A, B, C. That's good work. You got a waterfall here. Nothing else you can do with it. Same thing here. So you got to go A, B, C. Oh, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks like a good finish into the expanded flat here. 1, 2. Nice work, right? In the little triangle there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God, you do these so big. Too big. Let's come down. Micro. Go down 3 degrees in everything you're doing. This is sub-minuet. All right, so we go from here. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finishes. It gives us the C of the B. Okay, so now this context makes more sense. So now we... Jesus. Hang on, I can't even see in there. Let's see what you're doing. Micro. God, you're doing these at minuet. Micro. I do these at sub-micro here so we can see it. Okay, so now let me go to a 1 hour here and see how we look in here. Okay, so we get our finish here of the 5. So this working from the B. So now what do we get coming off of this? So 1, 2, 1, 2. This is good work, right? So this is all you got to work with here. I mean, I modeled your count all the way down. I liked everything except it looked to me like you were saying we were all part of one impulse here, and I was wondering how that fit in with your broader read on the market. So now this makes more sense. So again, that's just crazy big. So if we're doing 1, all right, so we get an impulse into the 1, ABC into the 2. Little diag here to finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1. A, B, I think you might need that, right? So, or that could, well, it is locked, right? So I think maybe you need that over here. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna have to pull your 3, 4 out of that somewhere in there. I'm probably on a 5-minute. You can get the 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gets you to 3. I'm you know, I don't think it doesn't really matter. Beautiful triangle, nice work, right? So again, clearly you've done some study. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That plays A, B, C into the 4. Oh, so we go A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That plays into the 4 here. That's all good. All right, so extension in the 1, 1, 2. It's great, great work. 1, 2, 3. Another triangle 4. It's a very tricky count, right? You got to know your stuff to get this. A, B, C into the 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm looking for this bad boy right here. 3, 4. Finish with a diag. Beautiful work. Really, really well done. Gravity anti?
I just say anti-gravity.
I know. I wanted to say anti-gravity. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, are we done here? It looks like not. So, how else could we run this? As I was doing it, I thought here. Well, here, this is what was kind of teeing me off here. I should say keying me, not teeing me. Okay, we just barely get there. Let's make sure I'm right on it. Barely. Well, so it's locked. Okay, so this would have to come over because it looks like you've got 1, 2, 3. Not much of a 5 there. 3, 4, 5. So it looks like we're finishing here with, we've got the, let's label it. If that's A, that's B, and we're approaching the C. Now we got good geometry targets down here. That could, well, you locked everything up. So this could extend a little bit down there. I'd extend this one as well. I don't think this won't screw his stuff up if I'm locking and unlocking. I don't think.
No.
Okay, so, well, there's one thought here is that you go A. That's not much of a B, right? So if this is corrective, it's. So I had this as an alternate here that you're going to do it this way: A, B, C into the 3, and then perhaps this is still working since we've got new lows here. A, B, C. And all of this comes, oh shit, they're all locked. So we'd be looking for the 5 somewhere down in this range. Here would be the 1, 6, 1, 8. Now, so the only, not issue, right? That's the wrong way to say it, but it's such a massive distortion between the 1 and the 5 makes me a little uneasy with it. 1, 2, 3. So here's the count that you're proposing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a biggie. All right, that's a pretty massive extension in the 5th, which I don't dislike. I mean, per the way you're counting it, but that's just it would make me triple check it, right? Is there an alternate? What could I have wrong that would alleviate some of that distortion? Well, let's go back to the 8 here and see if that all fits in. So if this is, oh shit, maybe a 12 is what I need. I guess I need the 12 here. If this is A, B, well, you'd think in a flat, you'd come down, you might do it this way here. You might be down in this section. Not a requirement, right? A, B, C. Well, let's just, how we look technically. I'm guessing you've already done this here. Well, there's, shit, I can't see in there, but there's the 618. Here's the 100, right? So we'd have a true flat. Let's see where we are there. That's not too far off. Hard to see in there. Could we be done here? Well, look, so it looks like we've got, do we have golden zone there? It looks like we do. Yep, so this is your golden zone. This is your 50. You guys use different colors. Shit, I can't. I'm going to hide some of that just so I can, can't get in there. I mean, to be a buyer in here, it's not that it doesn't make sense, right? So you'd have all of this where the market stalled here. It was tested. Now we go up, and now we're coming back here to check it. What happens here? Do you have anything? Oh, yeah, good. We got Weiss wave here. RSI. That's looks like this is your 3, 4, 5. So that wouldn't be a classic divergence setup. I mean, you've got a little bit, right? You can kind of see that is starting to get weaker. Well, what's the alternative? The way you have it counted here, if this is going to finish down here, that we would get. Well, if it's going to be a flat, right, we would need to finish with 5. So the downside to this is that's 1, right, per your count. That's 1, 2, and we're going much lower. I mean, even that alone, right? So if this were 1, and let's say we got a big B, right, we'd have to maybe do something like that to make the flat feel a little more like what you'd expect in a flat, right? We'd do that. I wouldn't shy away from the buy here, right? If you get this to finish as cleanly as you proposed here via that ending diag, I wouldn't shy away from it, but I'd want to see signs of strength. I'd want because here's the obviously, right? You're back into all of this rejection area down here. All these wicks where we tried. Now we break it. Now we're gonna come back to test it. That would make sense to me. And then it rolls over again. So the reason I think I like the idea of being a buyer here is because if it's going to play as a flat, you'd anticipate a bigger B here. Or pardon me, if it's going to be 1, 2, shit, can we get this done as a flat? I don't think we can, as you've counted it here. So I was thinking ABC, so it's my bad. Now, unless we did this as an X, and we went to an ABC, right? So gravity, I'm assuming if we go 1, 2, 3, right? Already we're blowing up the flat. So is there a way we could count this as a WX where we could allow for the X to go beyond the start of this? Looks like we could. So looks like we could do this as a WX. Y down here. Oh, since you like big ones, let's go there. Who doesn't like big ones? Okay, there we go. So ABC looks like that could play. ABC, I like that. I think I like that better. We'll see what comes out of here, right? So either way, if it's as you've counted it, gravity, and we're going to get this shallow C leg of the flat. Well, right off the bat, you're looking for an impulse, right? So if we're done here, we start with a 5. Or pardon me, it could be an impulse or a diag. So we're looking for a 5 here. Well, if it's going to play as an A and a B, we'd need a 5 in the A of the B, right? So if we got that, and then we go down here, either way, this you should be in good shape here to look for minimum, right? Some of this up here would be a reasonable target, A or 1, 2. So I should probably read more of that. I got to unlock it so I can see it. Okay. I would like to see the ending diagonal meet the minimum rate trace, and I want to see an impulse. Oh, you're already describing what I just was saying. This is nice work, right? I appreciate you doing that. This is very good for other guys that are watching here to take the time to do that. It does a couple of things. Aside from helping me with how you're interpreting this, it helps you because if you really want to, of course, this is going back to your school days. If you want to learn something, write it down. If you want to really learn it, teach it, right? So in a way, he's both writing it down and communicating, i.e. teaching it here by doing this. This is really well done. Now, how do we make money with this? Well, bulls want to see this get broken, right? So I didn't even notice that here. So if we come back up here, I'd be just a little bit careful with that as the all clear sign, right? So if we come up here, right, if it's going to play as a WXY, boy, that's right where I'd be looking to sell it. Right? So if you think of this, where's my pivot here? Right, we'd be coming right into the golden zone. So if we do this, boy, that'd be tempting. Now that's what's going on across crypto, right? I mean, this is tracking. This move is identical to almost to Bitcoin. right? We have a cleaner finish down here, but the three leg here, almost identical. So if Bitcoin's rolling over, you might anticipate this would come with it. So end of the day here, after all of that talk here, you're right in the kill zone there. I'd be looking for entries, but I'd be down on maybe a 30-minute. Am I guessing? I don't need to tell you this. Okay, so get me out of here. Well, right off the bat, are we done here? Right. So if it's 3, maybe we get a triangle here. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, could we get one? Looks like you might be able to squeeze a triangle in there. Either way, it almost doesn't matter what you call it, right? It's just we're not advancing the trend. It's just corrective. Now, looks like you can go A, B. Well, working backwards, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks like you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. So, oh shit, how are we doing this? Well, if it's A, B, C, I'm sorry, this is your original count, right? So if it's got to go roll lower here, and this is going to be, so this would be the B of the C. So if it's A, B, C into the 3 here, this would be A, B, C into the 4. Now, do we have it here? Now, and gravity, I'm not saying that this now must be. We could still be here. But the finish is, I mean, it could work, right? So we'd be into finishing with that ABC. That could work. That could work just fine. Oh, God, these are all locked up. That could work just fine. So I'd be hunting on the buy side for the reaction. I think you're on the money here. Hit that over. Everybody's locked up here. Here we go. Into that range. Now, of course, this will be the first hurdle, right? That would be where you would anticipate the market would retrace, test. Now, is there more to come? More supply coming to the market here? Now, if we can get through here, if we can get up to test this, right? Because there's stops, there's volume here. Bears, this is a place where you could reaccumulate to take it lower. So if you got here and then you came back and you don't get that pivot, and we start to go, then I think you're looking much better. Now, again, is it the 5 of the A, or is it the 5 of a 1? And again, do we get an impulse or a diag? But I would be definitely on the hunt here. So great work, great to turn people onto that as a potential setup. But I don't think it's ripe quite yet. But it looks, get that first little kick up here to test that. Oh, you can see it, and you've duly noted it here. So come up and test some of that. Or here's what would be even better. Now you're getting a bigger reaction here. You get a bigger 3. All right, to break it, come back and test it. So then this is just how the market works. So up we go, stops, shorts have to cover. Now we come back down here. This is the last little, maybe it is going down. Maybe it is going down. Bears trying to get to that pivot. Oh, they can't get there. Doesn't matter how deep that goes, right? It sets up to 3. So I'd be on the hunt here. That looks good. Very nicely done, Gravity. Very nicely done. All right, so with that, let me keep moving here. I can go 2 hours on one asset if I don't pay attention to the clock. Okay, I got Arcadeus. Oh, what are we doing here? I can't even tell what we're doing. All right, let's ARC Innovations, the ETF. Okay. For some reason, I think I was just looking at this. Hang on one sec. Okay, ARC Innovations. Well, let's get these. Oh shit! Here, did I make a copy? Yeah, I did. Okay. What are we thinking? COVID low. So there's much behind us. Okay, so 1, 2. Just out of curiosity. God damn it. It's pretty good. Nothing not to like here. 5, 3. Oh, that's a. You might be stuck with that. Yeah, that's pretty good here. So it looks like maybe, I thought maybe we had a triangle here, but I don't think so. 1, 2, 3. Oof. Well, that's as deep. That's as close as it. Do I ever get first? Never. No. Well, that's a tough one. Well, you're stuck with it. Yep, A, B, C. Right, it looks a nice finish with the 5 here. Oh, you're doing the same thing here. Oh shit! I don't know that it matters, but I might have done it that way. Oh, so you're trying to get your A. That sure looks like a 5, doesn't it? Gosh, damn near looks like you could be done. Well, you got to get an ABC out of here. So you've got the A. This. What are we on, a 1 hour? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like an A. But boy, is that a gnarly start. Is there no other way to get that done? I don't think there is. Right off the bat, this just looks like that's 5. So I'd be thinking, you know, maybe there's more squish in here, something along those lines for the B before finishing. C down here. Well, so we'd have golden zone down here, which is deep for a 4. It's not what you want for a 4, but it might be that's all we've got here. So it looks like he's setting up here for a front run on. So we got a projection here. So okay, looks like to me. I see. I don't think you're there yet to where you need to be doing that. You know, I guess it works, right? So you've got to call this a completed impulse. This is sideways. I mean, I really kind of want to call this a 2, but it doesn't play as well. Let's see if I go here. Nope, there's no other way to do it because you can't go. This can't be the 3, so you're stuck with it. And again, maybe in log, right? You know, it's going to be maybe better here. I don't know, not really. Well, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing here. Right, you've got that's you know, decent amount of risk here, but the risk reward, what do you got here? There's 12 to 1, 8 to 1, 7 to 1. Right? So you've got big targets, big ambitions for that 5. Oh, what's the only thing missing here? And you may have it on somewhere, but I would, of course, immediately get this on. Let's see now. Do we get a golden down here? I'd be an original. Oh, maybe so. Maybe my guess is based on where you have those targets here. You've already done this. Now we'll see, right? Do we get? Is there one more kick down here to get a golden corner, or are we going to be working just off of a corner here? It looks like it needs a little more time to get that ripe. Well, I sure would pay attention to this little structure down here. And that looks like that's what you're keying off of here. And maybe I'm just kind of noticing there's the last little lip before it goes up. And that happens to be right where your entry is. Oh, I think you may have had this on here. Maybe I just took it off, but looks like you'd have this as well to be mindful of. So there's the 100 coming in right you'd be splitting the golden zone. Well, the setup there is fantastic. If you got a big 5 out of that, boy, I wouldn't bet against that. If you get a pivot here and we start to turn, here's one thing I would definitely not be doing, going anywhere near the short side of that. Well, if that starts to come out of there, well, again, I often wonder why someone, and the only reason is they don't know. So if we got, it doesn't matter if it's here or here, we've got 80% odds that we get there, right? So what trader in their right mind would say, okay, I'm going to go against that 80% and I'm going to count on it being the 20%? Why? Why would anybody do that? Why? Well, somebody's going to be shorting here, right? Or market makers got to do it, right? Somebody's got to be on the other side. If we start to go, somebody's got to create that liquidity. So why would retail? Why would anyone go sell into that? Well, maybe you got an algo here, right? So it wouldn't be a buddy; it would be software. Maybe you get that, right? So you're going to have a hurdle right here, right at all that congestion. So you could get rejected there. But if you get through that, again, why? It's always a good idea to think, why is somebody on the other side of my trade? If we're buying this here and we know we've got 80% odds here, why would anyone sell it? I'm not sure. I'm not here to give you an answer. It's just I want you to have that thought in your mind, because you have to look at that and say, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? That would be the first thing that I would think. Why? Why would anybody sell that? Trend is up, higher highs, higher lows. Why is somebody selling that? Something to ponder here. But from our perspective here, this is sweet tea. Fuck, man, bring it down. Good God, yeah. Here, and I like that you're front running a little bit so you don't get left behind. Beautiful setup. That's a beauty. Nice job, Archideuce. Okay, let me keep moving here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left other than looking for that pivot to finish. What do I got? Oh, Grant F. That'll be an easy one. Okay, so back to Roku. This is one he's been eyeballing for some time because I know we've looked at it. Now, let's see if he's got new. Oh, interesting. I know there's a harmonic coming here soon. Or it would be the first time he's posted one without a harmonic. Well, that might be interesting. Just a little something for the holidays. Do you need a harmonic on this? I don't think you do. Roku. All right, so no harmonic. Looks like this went too far. Well, maybe. If there was a harmonic there, he would have posted it. Okay, is there any trouble figuring out what's going on here? Anybody have a struggle there? Resistance. Now we're through. Back to the golden zone. That should be, so what do we have here? Right? Tee these up nicely, right? So again, why would anybody short that? You got to think, right? Why would they do that? Same thing here, right? Where's the first hurdle? Right here. So you could do it this way and say, okay, I can see I'm going to run into a hurdle here. If I just bring that over, right, it was resistance. Now the support, up it goes. Now they break it back from underneath to touch it, right? That's what you want to see, right, if you're short. So now, you see, if you're right here, if the market's here, you can completely understand why someone would sell it, even here. But down here, as we start to push higher, why? What are they thinking? Interesting. All right. So, and now keep in mind that I'm speaking purely technically. Right? There may be fundamentals that, not everybody's a technical trader, right? There may be fundamentals here that would say, oh, well, they're not going to make earnings, or the disappointment, or more competition. All of that, right, could be why people are looking at shorting that there, and would be. But as a technician, I mean, there's almost no way around it. Let me just, out of curiosity, did you lock that? Yeah, you did. I mean, let's just see if we put it here. It ain't better. I would probably have both, and I'd probably start with this one. And if we got into trouble here, See, I know what he's doing here, so because he's pulling it from the low, right? So if we pull from here, oh, pardon me, are you? Well, let's see, are you pulling it? I think you are pulling it from here, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Okay, so he's pulling the low here. So there is always a little bit of trial and error to see what the market is responding to. Coming back here, the only bit I don't like about that is that it flattens the angle out, right? I want more, right? So this could be just, that could be a little trader's greed there. But if I can get the same, oh shit, I would do it. I would explore all of these, right? How do I like it here, right? Because you got a double top here. So there's no hard rule. Oh, it has to be the second one. It's what is the market responding to? That's probably where I would start, and just see how it plays. Do I get here, right? So this would be upper parallel. Let's see. So we have our 75. Looks like that's a 75. Yeah. So he split these two. So we have, actually, Grant, I kind of like that here. So you're getting, well, you're hitting all three targets here. So if this plays, so he's using the algo targets, but it actually looks like it plays just as well. Oh, can I do that? If he's right there. Okay, so his third target, right? So here's a good example of why coming from the golden zone. I mean, pretty simple math, but sometimes just people need to see it, right? So that's why the negative 100, we always say that's a shortcut, so you don't actually have to do the APP. You can do it if you're coming from a golden zone. So this is shit. Why would somebody not buy that? Hard to answer that, right? So, but that's to our benefit. So, again, if you're looking for a trade in traditional assets, I'd like to see the trade that has better risk reward, a better technical setup than this one. I genuinely would love to see it. If you can put a better looking trade than that in front of me, I'd love to see it. Maybe here, I got other guys going to see that, but what do we got here? It's 30, almost 35 to 1. If we get to the most common target for a third, if that's going to play as a 3 right now. I don't know. I don't know much about Roku. I don't use them. I know there was some big deal they just did recently. They got, I can't remember. I just remember spotting it and saying, oh, Roku's coming on. $21 to 1. We can't even read it. 16 and a half to 1. This is how you make money trading, right? You put yourself into a position where you've got very minimal impact if you're wrong, right? Per this. Now, do you have enough there to get started? Looks like it's working on it. Very limited risk, massive upside. I promise you the hardest part of this trade would be staying away from it, right? Letting the thing play out, which is why having 3 targets is such a good way to do it, because now you get the satisfaction if you get it, right? You get the satisfaction here, right? So if it moves and it starts to go, you're just, you're water skiing behind an algo there, letting them pull you along, right? Now we're going to get second, third. All right, see how the 618 is right at the 127, 138, and the negative 1 is at the 1618, right? You see how that all comes together? And if you break the 23, the next target is the 100. Great work, right? Grant, very consistent, very, very consistent, and always with he always puts himself in a position to where when he's right, he could be wrong 15 times, and on the 16th time make it all back here with this kind of risk reward. Right, now I'm hoping you guys are good enough here to where you're not going to be wrong 15 out of 15 times, right? But if you did, right, how many of you would have the fortitude, that's a better way to say that, to take that trade and let it run? What happens to us, right, and we've all done this, right? You get underwater, you're behind, and then you get a little winner. It's like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, I better grab some, right? I got to make back from those losses. And then the thing goes here, and then you didn't even get your first target. It enforces a discipline. Now, shit happens along the way, so it's not like it's going to be a straight line. There'll be plenty of challenges along the way. If Roku's going here, is that feasible? Well, why not? Why not? Why is it not? Good stuff. All right, let me keep moving. Maybe I'll skip mine or come back to mine. If we've got time, I'll come back to my Neo because members have all seen it. Let's hit Mr. Jack here. Mr. Jack with next. Okay. Next Decade Corporation. How many of you remember when Steve Jobs left Apple? His next project was a company called Next. I wonder if anybody remembers that. I'm revealing my age here. Okay, Next Decade. Why do I not have Elliott counts? I do. I don't. Oh, you've seen me. Elliott counts. If you've seen some of the Bitcoin stuff, I've been showing the fib time here. It's always worthwhile. It's just another confluence point. Yeah, with regards to TradingView, I don't particularly care for the. They got one that I'd be damned if I can make any sense of it. The fib time zone here, but the trend based is really quite good. So, here's how I would use it here. I would look at the length of the 4 projected from that and see how we look here with regards to the 4 relative to the length of the time of the 2. It looks like you're going to be off a little bit. You could put the 1272 in there, look for additional confluence. It's always a good idea. It's just one more confluence point. Elliott counts. I've seen your work, Elliott counts. I don't know where, but I know you do good. I know you know what you're talking about. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see. So you see what he's doing. He's playing this as a. How are we getting there? A, B, C, right? So, okay, so you're doing it that way. So we've got a leading diag here, A, B, C into the B at this degree. I'm just going to change that color. All right, so we go A, B, C. So we've got the makings of this. I don't know shit about these guys. Let's go back here and see where are we coming from. Oh my God, that's got to be a bad tick. No, maybe you shit. You never know. This is pretty. I like this. This is. So there must be a reason that you're here. So maybe you're in it or you know something about them. Because if I pulled this chart up by itself, so here's what I would see. Okay, well, pretty clear resistance, pretty clear demand. We're just till we get out of that. So if you again, I always wonder, right? So why would somebody trade here? Well, there's got to be a reason, some reason that you're here. Looking at it rather than, okay, well, that's in a massive range. So, okay, well, is there an Elliott count that would play here? Well, yeah, you do have one, right? You stuck one. I mean, it looks like you're doing 5-3-5-3-5 into this diag. So the potential here is significant. And the nice use of the volume profile here I would have done it this way. There. Right. So we've got the POC coming in down here. So you see where here's another way, right? Always, right? Kind of a good way to use it. All right, where's the value area, which TradingView highlights for you, but it's good to I always do it so I can really see, okay, what are we doing here? Do I have any advantage here? Do I have any edge? Well, the only edge you're coming is you've got support down here, right? Support doesn't mean, guaranteed winner, it'll turn because they're certainly not going to let it fall. It just means you've got an area to look for a reaction. So if you were anticipating a place for entry, well, it looks like this might have maybe one more down here. We'll take a look at that. But that would be nice confirmation here. Now it's going to be a struggle to get through all that, right? But if you got up here, I mean, shit, what's there? That's a pretty nice looking setup here. Now you're asking a lot of the market. Oh God, get up to that upper edge, 6-1. Now let's go. I think I have. That's somebody else's. Let's see how we look in here. That's good. Where so that's well, Mr. Jack knows. He's an accomplished Elliottician. So this would have been a tricky call to get, right? To know that you could go into that, you could work the expanded B, you could go A, B, C. So he's flexing his Elliott knowledge there. That's very well done. Now coming into the 5 here, this is a bitch, right? So it looks like you can't quite get that done. Oh, and it looks like you ran into an algo here as well. You did. And so we're coming down here. Well, this would invalidate the count. So there's a lot to like here. No, let's start with the fact that if it turns down here, where your clear invalidation point, Right, so the risk reward here stays very, very friendly. Well, you would have much preferred to see it, to see it do this, right? A little bigger there. So what do we? Oh shit, we're on a daily. Let's go to a 2 hour. You got. Oh, you're stuck here. That's that. You got to call that an impulse. A, B. Oh, that kind of sucks. Is that? Could we be done there? You don't get much. So, I didn't mean to do that. Oh fuck! What did I do there? I was trying to just get to. Oh, I did this. I was just trying to get to lines. That's what I was trying to get to. Is there another way to read this? Is that going to be our B? Here. Can't say I'm in love with that. Let's get that off. Well, back to where I was, right? You've got that might. It's a little shaky in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's the A. Well, what I would hope for is I got a bigger B here, so that the B came up here, and then I came down rather than try and work this as A, B. I mean, shit. I mean, could be, right? And that could be 1, 2, but I'm talking about low risk. I wouldn't. You're too close there. I'd want to see something more come out of here, right? So that I'd need to see something kick here. Really, you're coming back to the support. So if there's going to be support for it, it should start to happen fairly soon. It should show up. Now you've already had your little kick here that created that. You'd want to see a little divergence. I'd need RSI divergence. Some of the Elliott oscillator might give you a little divergence here, but you'd have a very nice low risk trade here. I mean, that's really what you can say. Remember, in a diag, we're looking for a reaction at the 50. Now we're well beyond that. So you have no algo to participate here to get tuck in behind until you get that, right? Then you could get one. So I don't know that this would be for people that are just, here looking for ideas, that this would be the place to go. But Mr. Jack, who knows what he's doing, would be in here likely because he's stalking it, knows the company. There's a reason for him to be looking here. So the risk reward is pretty decent. You got a nice little pocket here, clear invalidation. If you get the reaction, shit, why not, right? You're looking for 5 to come out of there because we need to finish it like that. Why not? Nice. Well done, Mr. Jack. Okay, let me go keep going. Woo Wonka, newest blue belt. I think he's our most recent blue belt. All right. Oh yeah, forgot the gradient here. Okay, so let me make a copy. So I like what I'm seeing here. So I can see a little Monty magic in there. All right. So Adam. Well, this has been a hot project. I'm thinking, we got to be in log scale here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get an impulse extension in the 5th. Oh, we're just out of curiosity because that looks pretty deep. Boom. Well, you can see the clear 5, right? You almost can't. I mean, it's with this color combination. Holy shit, it's hard to miss it. So you got to do A, B. Oh fuck, how are we doing that? Looks like you have to go W, X, Y into the 4. Okay, well, so is that enough for the 2? I guess so, right? So we got right here 38. What are you saying here? Impulse starts here. Well, that's getting a little crowded in there. Let's go to a 4 hour. See how we look in here. All right, so the premise is that the 2 is in. And we're go WXY to ABC, X, ABC. So ABC into the Y. So it looks like you're locked up there. So this comes up here. Okay, I'm with you. It's good work. No, you could have done this as a triple, right? So you could have gone A, B, C, W, X, A, B, C, Y, X, A, B, C, right? Just, shit, doesn't matter. Probably not. Impulse starts here. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 to the 4 gives you the 5. Okay, I like this. Okay, so nice work. Well, very nice. A, B, C. Good. That's good work. Right? You're not going to know that unless you've done some study. You wouldn't know how to deal with that. A. Do you see what he's doing here? So he's going from that into A, B, C, D, E to give us the B relative to that A, and then we're down for the impulse. Beautiful. Very well done, Woo Wonka. Very nicely done. Right? You don't, if you're just looking for 3s and 5s, you wouldn't know to look for that. Very nicely done. Oh, looks like we got a 3, 3, 3. Are you sure? How are we doing that? Looks like we'd have to do it as an A, B, C. Okay, so that works as A, B, C. Good job. 1, 2. Oh, this is really well done. 1, A, B, C, Y. Why are we going A, B, C instead of 1, 2? Jesus, this looks exactly like dot where we started. Okay, I'll go with it. All right, so there's 1, 2. That looks like it's tough to dig that out of there. Wouldn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Well, not quite a triangle, so you'd have to do A. Oh, fuck. How are you doing that? B. Stick with it. 4, 3. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4, 5. Nice. Okay, into the A. W, X, Y, into the B. Oh, here, since a lot of these guys won't know Monty Magic, you got to come on Wednesdays to know that, right? So, okay, so A, B, 1, 2. Well, we got to do is an ABC since we're in a diag. So that actually looks good. Now, so the problem right here, I got to unlock that, is that now you don't have you didn't get a good start. Oh, do you need to do this? Perhaps. You'd still have a diag. Into the 3, A, B, C, into the 4. Looks like that's got more to go. Ah, fuck. That's got to come down here. Down for the 2 down here. So within the context, okay, so we're doing a lot of Elliott labeling here. So the geometry here is very clean on this. And of course you got to know what the algo did last, right? What did it do? Right? It looks like it did this. It's already got its target, right? So here's the pivot, here's 2 taps of the 50, here's the target. So it's already got it on that one. Now, there's this one. All right, so the dominant to the dominant low. Oh, pardon me, that's after the fact. So let's come here. See, because we know they use this, right? We just looked at it, right? So that's interesting. So we had a break here, so it's not there. So we got to go off to the side. Do you see the break here? So we're looking lower. Between the 23 and the 38. Well, you don't have an algo play here per se. A, B, C. Looks like you'd have to do that. A, B, C. Looks like it's close. 2 to the, if that's going to hold, is the 3 right to the 38. So we can see the 38 here has been the resistance. Coming down here, boy, that's pretty nice looking target, right? So you get a little hot box down here. We come down here and finish that. Okay, let's go out to a 2, see where that puts us. Nothing really jumps out here in terms of resistance on the way up that we might run into, other than you're working from the pivot low here to, let's put my oh shit, that's so I got the wrong one here, so I want to look at this. I'm just going to clean this up just for my own benefit. Okay, so let's go measure move 2 here. Okay, so we just broke the 50, so we're in the pocket here where you'd be looking for this. All right, trying to get this algo, get on board with this algo. Now, you got a little bit of an issue here in that the algo is not going to use a truncation. It's going to use the lowest pivot. And since this would have been a break already, so you'd have to go back one. So now, having looked at that, am I right on it? Right there. Okay, so from this dominant to that dominant, we're approaching the 50 here. Now this starts to look a little more interesting. I mean, it's hard not to notice this, but we've really already been to and through, right? So it got tested from above once. So there's not a lot that's screaming here to say, oh, big pivot to be aware of. So you're playing off of more of the technicals here. How's the volume profile here? I'm assuming you've got it on here. Oh, you do that crazy color here. Okay, so we'd be right on that. We just see, it's a little hard to see because of his color scheme, but right here is a low volume node. I don't know if you guys can see that. But right here, it's a big hole actually, right? So because we had it's always relative. You can always find it on the chart. Why is there a hole here? Because there was very little business done here. Right? We went through it, came back briefly. So there's a divot over here. When you bring it up on your chart, you'll be able to see it. I can't get his. Oh fuck! Hang on a second. This is always. Can I make that show values? Oh fuck! Here I won't fuck with it. Trust me, there's a divot there. So if we come right onto the edge of that divot, right? So when it comes to a low volume node, either it's going to just blow right through it because there's no resistance, or come right to the edge of it and then it will react. So that tees that up really nicely on the 50 off of the dominant. So nice work, Wonka. This is very good work, very very good Elliott work, because you got a lot of tricky counts in here. So flexing that blue belt muscle pretty impressively. I'm impressed with that, Wonka. Very nice work, right? All the detail. So you just very. I'm telling you, he's our contender for most improved from when he first got here to what he's posting now. Remarkable. All right, that's teed up, right? I know a lot of guys are tracking Adam. Other than that, there's not a glaring bit of support. You got so what would I do here? I'd wait and say, do I get a reaction? Because here you can't see it, but I know it's a little hard to see. There's a high volume node right here. So what is it like? Likely hits there, right? It's all tied to this. Right now we come back right on the edge of it. There's a high volume node there. It's hard to see. All right, now can I get the 3 to come out of there? We come right into all that volume here, which is tied to all this. You can kind of look at this. This is a good thing to do. Is just kind of eyeball it and say, okay, well, what up here? Can I quarter this thing? Can I cut into sections? I mean, it doesn't stand out as much on with this background here, but I often will do things like this just for my own sake. So I visually look at it and say, okay, well, buyers get interested up here, sellers get interested up here. Where are we right now? Smack dab in the middle. So thus, I'd be cautious about, because there's not a lot of structure here to work off of. I'd be hesitant to just sit there with a limit order, because we could just keep going right to where we come into some structure right here in the golden zone. So you could see how that could, it's particularly since we're tracking for a 2. But the Elliott count of the finish of this suggests that, okay, that would make sense here. I guess we can get rid of that and just split it. Right, here's the demand, here's the supply, right? And it's reflected. You can't see it, but there's a giant high volume node down here because of all this, right? So we're just in between. The volume profile is kind of showing you where to expect support and resistance. So this thing could come down. So I'd want to see, what are we on, a 2 hour, maybe on a 30 minute? Show me a 5. I'd take the first retrace. Looking for that, right? Same thing every time, right? It's always the same. If they can't get that pivot, but they got to cover. Oh, they got to cover. Kicks the 3. Right, great work, Woowonka. I'm very impressed with that. How are we doing here? We got 3, 4, 5 more. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we can keep going. Okay, so I've got next up. I've got Frade 57 hammers me. You give me 4 of them. Okay, let me. Oh, you know what? Let's do AVAX. I swear to God, I think I have this up because I remember this was a count that we did that was brutal, and I saved it because I had to go back and recreate it. Or I couldn't get it on the fly. I think it was. It took too much time. So I've saved it to see how it played. So let's see what you're thinking now here, Frade. I think you remember this. This was a mother getting that count to play, which is why I saved it. Okay, so we still have a potential corner here. I can't tell if that's corner pocket or where we are there. It looks like it's too deep. Okay, so this looks like that could be a bit askew there. Did I just fuck it up? How did you give it to me? Where did you have your pivot here? Oh, I'm curious what you're thinking there. Okay, so let me. Well, we'll just stick with traditional there. Maybe I fucked it up when I made the copy. Oh, well, okay. So why here? Why does it stop here? I mean, Elliott aside, did you need the Elliott here? Really? If you're looking at that thing coming down, well, shit, if it's not going to stop here or here, if it's not going to get into this mess, where's the next dominant where it's likely to bump into support? Right? No Elliott wave required. But look what's in the correction. Right, again, if we can simplify, we always want to do it, right? What do we got there? That's the DNA of the market right there, right? It's all it ever does. Swing, retrace, right? One side breaks. It's either this side or this side. That's all the market ever does. Okay, so we can see that 3 nicely in here after I'm not going to tackle that again. We did that once. There's a nice pretty 3 right into where you would anticipate the support. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go back to your 30 because it looks like you've done some work in here. Woo. Could pop already. What are you thinking here? So it could pop. Otherwise, the last leg down will be quite long. Okay, so you're thinking that here I lost my place here. We are in a 2. Well, this is a really bullish count here. Let's tee it up. Let's get the whole thing. Anything more there? Oh, well, I would never count that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's mighty bullish. Mighty bullish. Oh, here's what I'm trying to do. Resistance. Oh, we're through. Well, we better check it before we go any further. They're going to come back down. Well, let's look in there. 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is monster bull. Looks like we've broken gold in here. Oh, I'll be damned, we haven't. Now you must have had that, Frade. You must have that somewhere. Not like you to not have that. Maybe not. Maybe since I'm in log, you didn't spot this. Okay, so right, where are we? Well, that's interesting. So do you note here what's happening here, right at the prior structure. So if I do it this way, right, okay, here's how the market works. All right, so here's the prior structure, right? That's the resistance high. Now, that could be an algo target from below. Almost doesn't matter at this point, right? So where's the structure? Now, dominant to dominant. This is one of those good examples here where you say, okay, well, does the algo, do they track the algo in log scale? You take it in arithmetic here and you're like, oh shit, well, we're broken here. You tell me, right? Is it reacting here in log scale? That's the only way we know, right? Unless you're sitting with a guy who writes the code. all we can use is our eyeballs. Did we get a reaction there? Now, we're not to target yet, but we sure got a reaction. So my deduction is that they use it in log scale. I don't see anything not to like here. So we went WXY. That's a tight finish. Push that off a little bit. Oh, fuck, here, I got to get in there. Let's go to that 30-minute again. Okay, so now let's dig into your count here. So coming out of the golden zone, 1 WXY. So I think this is the part we struggled with. So 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, working on the 2. Okay, so this one, well, you went tiny on that one. So I'm going to bring that up just a hair. Let's bring this one up a hair, so others can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be done, right? Could be done. Well, you wouldn't see. So, okay, maybe as a result, okay, we've got a lot of business was done here. All right, so we're coming down here to tap that. Here's what you'd be saying. This would be A, B, C into the 2, starting into the 1. So we'd be skinny here. You can still... Oh, let's do it this way. Yeah, I'm with you. It's hard not to like it a bit better if it comes a little bit lower, right? So you'd have double here where it's stalled right before. Oh, we're going to come now. If we're going to come back down and test it, then you're at a 50. Now you're leaning into the 2. All the more you'd be playing into that structure. So you have a little structure here to work with as well here. So you could. Oh, here, I'll just do it this way. So we've got both of them. All right, so that would be of interest to me if we came down to that. Looks like you're accommodating that. So are we done is really the question you're asking. So well, how do we know? It's hard to know. We're already down on a 30. That's a completed impulse, so we have to account for that. So how do we fit that in? It sure looks like a 3, but we're kind of stuck with it. Damn, it looks like you could be done, but boy, that's a fucker. So look, that actually could be quite good. It looks like it's technical. So here's what you would call a reaction. Now, sadly, we lost the algo there, right? We went 707. Could very well be, modified algo. They're still with it. Hard to know, but we got to stick with the one that we can count on. So, but could that play from an Elliott perspective? Yeah, of course, right? 1, not much of a subdivision, so you're gonna have to do it that way. 3, 4, 5. Easy enough to get some targets here. Boy, that's mighty skinny here. So as a result of that, this is gonna need to be tight, right? So this has got to really throttle here to play, because what you don't want, what I wouldn't want to see here is this to start to do, and then we're getting outside of it. It's because that's so narrow. If this is going to play as a 1-2, you'd almost really rather have it. It just makes it harder to trade it. You'd rather, if you could, have it do something like this, right? So, maybe it's A, B, and we're going to get a C. So then you could bring the channel out fatter, which we can't, right? So it's what's there. Oh, you can already see what it's going to run into, right? So you got this, right? Prior support became the resistance. Now we're right back here to reclaim that. Can we keep moving there? Well, where's our last dominant? You can see what's up next. I'm in log scale, so I can't quite. Pretty good break there. That's kind of what I mean by it. And it did kind of the same thing, right? Once we get all self-contained here, I want that to stay. So this I know is part of something else. So this looks like it's done. So 1, 2, you got a big hurdle. Well, you're going to know pretty quickly what happens here. Not only do you have the algo there, but you've got just the structural resistance there, prior support, resistance. Now they threaten it again. Can they get through that? Well, if they do, then it's game on. You know you're likely in the 3 here, and the 4 and the 5 still yet to come. So what happens here? Look at the breakdown of that, because it looks like you already would have to have the 1, maybe shallow 2. Is that enough? Fuck, just out of curiosity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like you got a 1, 2 in there already. So you got to go to the 5-minute to spot it. Looks like you got it. Now, is that going to be the 2? Boy, that'd be mighty shallow. So you'd have mighty deep followed by mighty shallow. I suppose you could have it this way as an alternate. You got the 4. That looks more like a 4. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bit of a push in there. That could work, right? At least you'd have better structure there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you're going to get a little bit. You're going to get, the market's going to give you the clues that you need here, because this is not likely to be the 3, right? If it pops here, so it has to be the 1, 2 of the 3, right? So that's what you'd be anticipating next if it's going to keep rolling here. So that's a good example there of where the Elliott is helping guide you, because this, and here we can just do it this way. Now, do we get far enough here to call it a 3? Do we even really, you could probably take it out of log here. Well, you don't really want the 3 to be there, right, do you? You want that to be the 1 of the 3. If this is 1, 2, you want that to be 1, 2, because your target is up here for that 3. So you're going to have to either have a big extension in the 5, or this is the, oh shit, you might actually, you might prefer it like this, where you'd have the really shallow 2. That's not much of a 2. So this isn't quite revealed yet. I'd want to see what happens here, because I'm not sure, right? You can see a completed impulse there, but this looks much more like a 4 here, sideways. Good one, but so if you didn't buy it down here, you're kind of late. You're chasing a little bit here. So okay, whatever it's doing here, fine. Let's see what happens at the golden zone. Does it get rejected? And if so, would that change our count? Because you'd have the potential for this just to be an ABC, and we're heading lower. So you'd have to then be back here saying, wait a minute, do I have the count wrong? If that's an ABC and I'm going to bump my head here, could that be part of a larger? Boy, it certainly would be the biggest. So, well, think of it this way. Look at the size of the retracements going the other way. Are all pretty modest, right? Those are the biggest ones we've got. Now we got this, right? We're blown out of the channel. Even if I fatten the channel to accommodate some of that. Big, right? So this is over. This is something new. Good one. But I don't think you have a trade there just yet. So on watch list, right? What happens here? That's good work, Fred. All right, I'm going to come. How are we doing on time? It's 1. Okay, I'm going to come back to Fred because he gave me 3. If I have time at the end, I'll come back to those. But well, Fred doesn't need it. It's more just probably some good setups in there. So I'll come back. Okay, let's go to Zafar. Neo. Oh, Neo. All right, so didn't I? Yeah, I posted my Neo. Okay, so let's see how it looks. So, because I know Zafar has been all over this. Well, I've started watching it as well, which good example of me. I got onto it from Zafar. I liked what I saw, so let's see how he's counting this. Let me copy this. Happens all the time. Remember, it's half the reason I do these live streams is because I get ideas, because I can't watch everything. Oh, so what are you thinking here? Wow. Whew, I got spaghetti here. Okay, let me pull back out. Okay, what do we got here? All right, well, you left me out of context here. Okay, so we're thinking, let's just do the basic labeling here, that whatever this is 1, 2. Oh, let's put them into something big. 1, 2. Okay, so we have, I'm going to hide some of this stuff here. Here, I'm just going to, here, because this won't screw yours up. Okay, this is interesting. Right, so do you see he's got an inside pitchfork here, and we're catching the lower parallel here? Well, that's a little Monty magic here. He's really pioneered the use of that in his own creative way here. And it looks like Zafar's been paying attention to his teachings as well. So we look at this and go, okay, well, sure looks like it's 3. Right? Sure looks like it's teed up for it. So do you see? So we've got, you can almost do it as a trend line. We'd have, pardon me, we're not there yet, right? So that's his proposal, right, that we're coming down here. We've got that to finish. So it's, boy, talk about a hot spot down here. Look at all that confluence here, right on the edge of this high volume. And this looks like more Monty magic here that he's outlined these. So we got a clear buy zone here, and you could do it this. We could just, if you wanted to see it a little bit better. Let's get that right on there. Coming into that confluence. Now, an inside pitchfork is the kind of thing that I would be willing to bet you less than 1 out of every 500,000 traders have ever even looked at it. All the more why you have to look at it and go, is there something here that would be useful? So this is very, a unique application of it. But whether you were just saying, hey, would that be, there'd be a trend line there, right? If we got a pivot here, if we got a pivot. But you can just look at it this way and say, okay, well, I've got a swing here that's impulsive, right? This is Elliott 101. I got a 5. What am I looking for? A 3. Can I find it at some place that's technical that would be in line with prior support and resistance? Is there some geometry that I could find, right? Because you got to look, right, to put an inside pitchfork on this and say, hey, holy shit, look at the golden zones on top of the outside, is right at the outside parallel. Again, I would tell you an incredibly small percentage of traders would know to look for that. Right? You can thank Monte Crypto for that. He's really pioneered how to use that. So 1, 2, 3, we get a big kicker in the 5th here for that extension. So we get a leading, leading diag here. All right, we finish with an ABC. Looks like this is all pretty clean here. WXY. All right, nice. So do you see he's got the triangle in there? All right, triangles throw a lot of new Elliott students. They don't know to look for it when they're like, what the fuck? And they, like, when you hear yourself thinking, maybe you don't say it that way. That's how I say it. What the fuck? Then I think triangle. Like, could it be a triangle? Because if you're trying to go A, B, do I have to truncate the C there? Fuck. What? That's not long enough. As soon as you hear that in your head, think triangle. So there's the proposed 2. I'm going to fatten that up a little bit. Here's the 2. I got 5 that comes off of it. So I've got a WXY. I got a 5. Well, you certainly had all the ingredients for that to be over, right? You'd have been at this parallel here. You got a 5. You were thinking that right there. Oh, shit. ABC, right? You got a WXY, right? It's in essence 3. And I got 5. Retrace. Right. Welcome to trading. Right. So that's a perfect setup for a long. Well, not perfect. It's pretty damn good. Right. So it's pretty damn good for a 1, 2. You're looking for 3. Now, the only hesitation on that would be that it would be relatively abrupt. So as Elliott Counts was talking about earlier, right? We put some fib time on that. Well, even if, what's the best way to do that? Here, you could use this. Now, here you'd be at the 1618. That could work. Okay, so what I'm doing there, because there's no, you can't use it because it alternates. So you have to compare it to something else. So if I'm looking for a WXY, because this is now rolled over, you didn't get what you were looking for. So looking right there, you weren't even to the 618 in time. So that might have been a bit of a concern, but I wouldn't have hesitated on buying that there. I know it's hard to see, but you got all that structure there that kind of creates the potential here. Oh, what a perfect looking bounce here for the correction to be done. And it looks like it was at a 50. I know that's hard to see. Get this out of there. Here's the 50 in that red line. Right, so there's the 50. This would be a classic. You took it, and you got stopped out, right? Again, if you get in the ring, you're going to get hit. Now, did you right? So if you thought that was the 5, you're buying here, probably stop right here. So was that a big loser that's going to blow up your account? Well, not unless you went, some insane amount of leverage. Likely not. So you got off to a good start. Oh, you're thinking, hey, I got my 5, I got my 3. Oh, there's the 1, there's the 2. Oh, I'm good to go. They don't always play. So you got to look at that and say, okay, I take my small loser. What's next? Here, I gotta hide some of this. I can't see any of it. I know you guys can't either. Let me just hide some of this. Let's just get it so we can see it. That we've already broken that. So here's the next one. So is this just another 3 going in? And the first time it just didn't have the legs, right? All the ingredients were there. So now you got to go. If that's the 2, oh, hang on now. We can't have the 2 here anymore, right? So that we just need to bring that over. So we've got WXY into somebody called me out on this the other day. So we can't do it as we'd have to do this as an A. Fuck, can we get a B in there? Let's just do it this way. Let's see if we can do that. If it's WXY, it has to go into an A. Now, is that a B? Well, it's a shitty one if it is. Now, we are on the daily. Well, it's a bit of a... Yeah, you got to use that. You're stuck with that. 1, 2, because you need the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get the 3 done. So you got to stick with that. So fuck. So the only way you could do it is this way. 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. So you got it's it's just the reality of the markets, right? It's not going to be perfect. So A, B, C, it's barely there. That's a squish fit, no doubt about it. 1, 2, you're going to squeeze it in up there somewhere. When I'm on a 4-hour, you can probably get it done. You're accommodating the market here, right? Again, Elliott's not perfect. Don't expect it to be. WXY. Okay. Well, again, we can't do it that way, so we'd have to do this as an ABC. So we could do it. Oh, shit. We could do it this way. So this has to go away. So we've got to go A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X. Now we need Y here. A, B. Ugh. I know what you're trying to do there. You don't have to relabel here. You can't do it that way. Because you got a 5 there. So you're going to have to squish it into a 5 there. So you're going to have to go A, B, C. Now you're putting the wave on that. I'm going to get rid of that. Nice break here under the gold, under the Vegas wave. Looks like that's technical. So it looks like this is an algo. Perfect. Golden zone. So what do we have here? Golden corner. Oh, let's use the first one. It's a double top or double bottom. There's the inside. Original looks like it's got it. Let me just go back to, because it's just got, oh fuck, what do I want? I want default. Just out of curiosity, so I'm just kind of looking here because I've got 2 pivots to choose from here. So let's use the second one, see if that's any better. I don't dislike it. You got to get these you got to get these spot on, or you got the angle wrong. That's one you do want to lock once you get it, because it'll change if you change times. Okay, here's through. We're back now. Look how we're just hugging that. Looks like I don't think we can do a triangle there now. So we got to go with an ABC here. Looks like that's 1, 2. What am I on? 4? Let's go to a 1. ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't say I like that. This looks like ABC. So let's just label that up here based on what we can see. Looks like that's correcting this. And that looks technical. Looks like that's a 50. And we'll through it. Here's the target. Ugh. See if I go to a 30. Can we get that done? Yeah, it looks like you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so we can do that. Well, that's too bad, right? So you'd been looking for that to be done. So this actually is a little more bearish than you'd want. 1, oh fuck, probably doesn't matter. 2, 3, 4. Looks like we're done there. That's not good news for the bull side. Let's take that up. Boy, you wanted that to be done there, didn't you? Well, what's the alternate that we could do? Maybe we've got a really big kicker in the. Let's see if that's past 2618. It looks like it would be. Pretty close. There's 300%. That's a long run, but it looks like it would work, and then we know that's a 50 that went just by the 50. I can't say I love that because you'd have to. Oh fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like you could do it. So you'd have this. This would be, if that's the 3 that we'd have to work backwards. That would be 4, 3. You have to get it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C into the. God, you wanted to be done here. Oh, fuck. Let's just get in there and see if we can get it. Well, you want to be done here, so you want that to be the 4, that to be the 3, but that's a... Well, you'd already have overlap. Tricky one. That's a bummer. All right, it forces you to rethink it. This is all wick. Fuck. So I would see this is the resistance right here. That's a pain in the ass, I'll tell you that right now. God, it looks like you're doing an ABC, but there's... Well, it's not far enough. So if it's... Here's what I don't like. I don't particularly like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? It doesn't look like it work. It already looks like 3 would be the shortest. Let's just double check it. It's 2... It was the same thing I was talking about before. I want all this to be self-contained, right? Once we're doing this, something else has happened, right? We're correcting it here. We could. I don't love it. Let's just label it up. 1, 2. I mean, unless we truncate it there, which is the last resort. That would get us done. For the time being here, could we make the diag work? Well, you got a 3 there. I suppose the better way to do the diag. Oh, that's going to be too fat. Well, here, let's just do this here. How do we look here? Just far, just long enough. Well, I'd be reluctant to trade off of that myself. So this is the 4. So let's take that up. I don't like that. Even if you did the truncation, which I always think that's a cop out, but right now, because I don't want to take forever on this. Well, so what would you be saying here? You'd be saying that's 1, 2. We're working on 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right, Zafar, let me just compare what you've got here, and I did the same thing over here. So I was doing the same thing. So I went, I think we have the same count. If I look here, you're finishing with that 5. So what have I got over here? Let's bring it over. A, B, we're working on C. I just did it slightly differently. COVID low 1, 2, 3, 4. I made the note. I posted this for members here. So we're working on the WXY, looking for that to come down here. So noting where we are. This prior structure here, coming all the way across here as we hit the. Wow, what's different here? You've got it. Oh, you're on Finex. That would be one difference here. It's a different way to get there. Always good to look in the prior 3, 4 as we come down here. So this is the last. You can see some high volume nodes here. So I'd be paying attention to this. This right here as a potential support. If we're going to break below the 50 and head towards, well, you know, of course, look where the golden zone is. That is in log. Here, out of log, right? It's 2. You have to do it in log, right, to do any detail out here. That's a 12-hour. So, Zafar, I think you're on the right track here. This is a little bit. I can't say I love this. Well, I wouldn't trade it based off of where we are right here. I don't like this. What we ended up with here. Looks more like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are still yet to come, seeking that 5. But you know, and again, it's kind of just my philosophy. If I can't just see it like, oh, boom, 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 I got it. I know right what's there. Why force something here? What I see here is 3, right? I'm sure you guys see the same thing. That's what I see. All right, so how? Then you'd be back saying, oh, wait, if I'm finishing with an ABC, do I have the count wrong, right? Does this need to be part of a WXY? But it doesn't. This would be the 3. That's the good 4. You're kind of fucked here. Even if you try to do it this way, say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Well, that fucks you up. So you might, is there any alternate here? You'd have to put the 3 down here. All this would be blown up. This blown up. So you'd have to go 1, 2, fuck. You have to do it this way. 8, oh, fuck. I don't even think you can do that. Even if you're here. That's kind of where we just were. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's just the fact that it could be that would have me reluctant to be buying in this area. All right, remember we just looked at this. If this is the 1 and then we're in the pocket for the 2 right here, well, 1, 2, right? Looks like we'd be starting on the 5 to get that done, right? So this is 1, 2. We need a 3, 4, 5 to get that done. So that would make it a little more interesting to me. Here, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't trade it, right? It's too iffy. Why? And again, why? Well, I do notice here, this is all wick right down. Oh, fuck, that's not what I want. This is all wick right here. So that's rejection coming down into that, but I don't know what that is. I can't. It could be too many different things. So why trade something when you're not sure? But good chart for us to ponder here. I think this might be a simpler way to look at it here. So we're trying to finish this 5. So if you're working backwards, I mean anything down here is kind of interesting. One more little probe down here. Again, this is, I'd be really paying attention to that high volume node. What do I got down here? This would be 100% of that. All right, there we go. I mean, a couple of different ways to read that here. So that's a good example for anyone watching on YouTube. Bring it up on your chart, right? You won't remember, since I just went so far back and forth, unless you pause the video. You won't remember. So bring it up, count it out, and see what you get. Right? Assuming you're interested in learning Elliott, see what you get. Oh shit, where'd mine go? This seemed like the best fit to me, that we want A, B, and we're working on that C, and this looks very 4-ish. So if there's one more thrust down, that might be just the kind of thing that you can expect. You know, those retail gets caught shorting it, and then they rip it back. You got a perfectly technical pivot here. All right, this is good work. There's some ideas to chew on there. I think that would be a good challenge to see how people come up with that, how they count it. It plays fairly well. All right, let me keep going. Okay, so I got Diamond Lee wants to look at Bitcoin. All right, what are you thinking here? So let me bring that back. We're doing on time. Oh, God, there goes that mouse shoulder. Uh-oh. Diamond Lee gave me an image. Okay, so you're thinking WXY. I agree there. You're bullish. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is the alternate bull count. We've talked about this one. Because this is really tough, it's a force fit because of the 3 that's there. Almost impossible to squeeze that in. So it plays better as a B. A, B, 1, 2. Okay, how are we doing that? So A, B, C. So we're expanding the B into the 2, down for the 3, 4. So we should be approaching done down here. And he's basically talking about between 40 and 42-ish, or 44, 40 and 44. Well, oh, shit. I don't know if I can find on my Bitcoin. No, that's that's our friend Gravity Anti. See this count. I've got so many different counts here. I'll open up a can of worms there. Okay, so here is just a valid alternate for bulls, assuming we're not going to invalidate, right? So this is the key level here. We invalidate the potential for the 1, 2. What is that? It's just under 40. All right, so I'd be watching that. Oh shit, where are we? Oh, I can't even see what Bitcoin's doing now. 46. So we've had a little pop here. So this potentially, right? This count could very well catch it. So the 4 would be in here of the 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Off we go to the races. That's good. It's a good contender, Diamond League. Good contender. Okay. Okay. All right. So next up, Arcaduce is back with DeFi Perpetual. Okay. We got 2 more here, and we'll wrap it up before my shoulder locks up. All right. So this one here, we leave that one here. Let's get rid of that one. This one we did. This one we did. This one we did. It'll clog up my machine if I don't do this. That one we did. This one we did. This one we did. Okay, so here we are, DeFi. Let's make a copy here. On the 4 hour, DeFi to the tether, perpetual. Looks like the C isn't in, so we're looking for that C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've looked at this recently, so I'm with you on this. 1, 2, 3. Well, oh, maybe it's in there. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? It kind of looks to me like you want to go A, B, C. But let's stick with it here. 1, 2. So nice diag finishes it. A, B, C. A, B, C. Ooh. Okay, W. Okay, WX. There's a clear 5. You're going to have to go A, B, C there. Okay, so A, B, C into the W. So WXY starts it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks, we've got a clear flat there. And we've just gone into the golden zone. So we got to be in log scale. So what? Oh, I forgot we can do this. That's a good little thing, a little pop-up. 3, 4, 5. So 1 already had a golden. Just out of curiosity. Wow, is that right? Boy, you don't see that very often. How could that be? We're golden zone in arithmetic and log scale? Oh, that's interesting. Well, you don't see that very often. Okay, so we've got a clear impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're starting the correction. So we got a 5 that is followed by a proposed 3. And we have a technical pivot. Now this, I'm going to just put that over here for a sec. So same here. Oh. So I want to be able to read that. How do I get that? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Wicks were a mess up. Oh, fuck. Line chart looks okay. Okay, I see you're thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. 1, 2. That looks like a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it looks like you could be done there. But the 3 is what is the trigger because it takes us to the golden zone. So that looks like a 3. Oh, where's the 4 hour? Let's go to the 15 minute. Interesting. So that's all wick. 1, 2. That's a bitch.
Did you mute yourself?
Sorry. Monty always here to catch me.
I thought you were just intently
thinking.
No,
I forgot that I muted it. I was intently thinking. Okay, this is a little bit wonky here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. All right, so we. One, two, fuck. Let's go over here. Well, if you're truncating, you'd have to do it here. Look at the volume on that. So this was interesting how the volume is on these bars here really stands out. Well, so I see you're thinking here, right? So God damn it, that sure looks like a 3. So if we're rolling over again, how do we fit that in? We're trying to get a correction to complete. So it's A, B, C. A, B. Well, let's take a look here. It looks like it's technical. Their second target there, so they already got that. How would that be done? You can't get that done. Well, you don't quite. This would have to be 1, 2, 1, 2 because you don't have enough for a diag there. Just check it here. Maybe. Kind of the same thing, right? It doesn't look like it's quite ready for the trade yet because you got too many variables here. Looks like the C isn't in, but you kind of, boy, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boy, that's a stretch. I don't even know if you could do it. Let's see. Maybe you could. Yeah, you could because you'd have 3 would be longer than 5. So we'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that we would be done right here on that double bottom. Now, can you? I mean, oh fuck. But best hope is you got a diag going in, right? So this would be ABC into a 1. You'd need that. Doesn't look like it's ready to go yet. That's your best hope. So you're leaning into, oh, I'm going to call it a diag before I even really have enough ingredients to call it that. This would be, because it looks like you can get this done here, and that's not much of a 5. So if I label that, you see what I'm thinking here. We'd have to do it this way: 3, 4, 5. One, two, 1, 2, or ABC. Already. Well, that looks like a 5. Not much of a 2 there, but that looks like 4, 5, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A. Ugh. A, B, C, or W, X, Y. So you'd have to have one. This was what you'd be stuck with, right? So it looks like 1, 2. Is that enough to call it a 5? That's iffy. Well, the price action makes sense. But that wouldn't be enough for me to trade that. Oh, I suppose you could just, let's carve it up here. We'd have that. Maybe you're making a case for a channel to get you out of here. I suppose we would have it. Pretty good free draw. So you got a nice channels getting started, but I'd want to. So here's what you'd hope for, right? This is, right, again, I've been using this. I got it from another educator. I can't remember who I got it from, but I liked it as soon as I heard it. Okay, if this is 1, 2, and that's 1, 2, well, this has got to get some legs here. And if it doesn't, right, you'd want to be out of the trade pretty quickly. So let's dial it in. Wait, if you got something sideways here, that would be kind of what I'd be looking for. Well, it's a lot to project a triangle, but here I'm just working off of this, right? Touch, right? Can we get up there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that 5 to finish, so we'd have the 3, 4. Did we? I think we broke here already. Right? Was this the 707? Oh, pardon me. Well, let's see. The algo won't care. So did we get right to the golden zone? Not quite. This one broke, 707. This one I think is 707 as well. Right, so that's 786. So you have to come back one. So you'd be here. Oh, I wouldn't shy away from this, right? I'd look at both of them. I'd want this one as well as this one. This one you'll have a better angle. You're trying to get the 3 at that degree. Now, that's so you might tee it up and think of it this way. If this count's going to hold and we're in here with a double bottom, and this is 1, 2, 1, 2, well, we should have a 3 here. So this is what the market is supposed to do if that's how this count's going to play. So remember, it's not what the market does, it's what the market is supposed to do and doesn't. So if I don't get this kick here of showing me an impulse here, I'd be very conscious of the potential for this to just roll right over. All right, so well, shit, let's finish it up here. All right, so you'd want to be mindful of where that 100 is. We didn't quite get there. Rolling back here, so you would have, so you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4 in some sort of a, well, fuck. Nope, you can't, because you'd need a leading diag here if we come out of here, and that would be contracting. So you're kind of stuck with the 1, 2, 1, 2. So the market is now supposed to give you a big kick here. That's what it's supposed to do. Does it? Is that enough to take a trade off of? oh, you're kind of late, right? You wanted to be a buyer down here. You're kind of late to that party. So now, well, all right, so we need an impulse here. So if this is just getting started and we go, I mean, you could get the median line. That's the problem when they're this close. You can get the median line too fast. But you could certainly see a scenario here where you might, run into this structure here. Maybe it gets rejected. So you're 1, 2. You're looking for 3, 4, 5 to get up there. So this would be the first pullback would be the thing that I'd be looking for, right? So something in here. Oh, ring these. So you got these 2 prongs over here. That's kind of interesting. A couple of little snapping turtle over there. So that's what I'd be thinking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what I would need to see there to take this. So I wouldn't chase now. You missed this part. So you don't want to buy up here and increase where's your stop, right? Below this pivot, it's already too far for me. I wanted to be you wanted to be a buyer down here. You had it already. You had this little pullback, right? If you were going to get long, that's where you wanted to do it. Right there. All right. So looks like that's got some, a little bit of reveal. It's still yet to come as to what comes out of there. But your work's very good, Archiduce. Okay. Looks like we're going to finish up here. How are we on time? Yeah. So we'll finish with Top Hat Panda Musician. Giving me, is that Zoom? I think that's Zoom. Okay. So let's come back here. I think this is one he's been posting, so he must still be in it or looking at it or likes what he sees here. Top Hat. I don't need to correct Top Hat. He's very skilled. But this might be a place to look for ideas. So we've got, do we have a Gantt? No, we got a fib fan on. Well, all right, so something like a fib fan just offering additional confluence. So we have the potential confluence here of the 786 angle with the 786 in price from swing low to swing high. We already broke golden. Let's see. What's our... I think you can look at this here in log, Top Hat. I mean, we're going from 59 to 590. Yeah, that's 10 to 1. I think we can look at that in log. Oh, there's your 1. Oh, shit. I don't know that it matters, actually. Well, it's like that would be your 1. So here's the other one. Well, it does kind of fuck you up a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I see what you're thinking. 1, 2. Well, let's see. Hang on a sec. Let's see. Maybe if we do it this way, we get a better count. A, B, C. Makes me think he's already done this because he wouldn't have missed that. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I might do. Well, fuck. I don't know what matters here. I'll leave it to Top Hat knows what he's doing. Okay, so A, W, X, Y. That's sexy. Okay, so A. Did you leave me out on the B? Where'd you leave me here? W, X, Y, X, Z. Oh, that's pretty ballsy. Okay. Let's see. Can we make that work? Do you really have that there? Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so we're coming. I'll pull that out of here. We do a double into a B. I think we can. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. A, B, C. This one's a little trickier. I'll give you the Y. Well, let's see. Okay, what did the algo do here? I think he probably had this, but sometimes hard for me to spot it when they're in different colors here. So there's the 50. So we know we've got an algo that's in here, right? Looks like they already used it once. So we got it, target, right? So we know they used it. Oh, you probably got it twice here. This one breaks. Nope. Did it? Nope, there it is. If I get that right on there. Looks like they used that one. Nope, pardon me. They broke it. Yep, they did. So we got to go back to the top, right, where we started. So that's because that's what the algo will do. It'll start here. If it breaks, it'll go here. If that breaks, it'll go here. There's the last resort. So right to the 50. So you've got your clear resistance, right? It makes sense with the price action. That's pretty sexy, Top Hat. I got to say, I like that. So WXYXZ into the B. All right, that takes some Elliott chops to even think of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into that technical structure where we've got all of this teed up. So there's the C. So while it's very complex to get there, and this takes some real Elliott skill to, again, to even think of that, what we really have here is A, B, C right there. That's what he's proposing via the triple in there, which is legit, right? It flies. 1, A, B. So are we done here? So look, we can get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of that's done. So here he's just getting started over here. This is some pretty sexy work here. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're done. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5. Oh, it's getting pretty skinny down there. That is a daily though. Now we can come out of log. Ooh, skinny. Okay, so there's the proposed 5 at that structure. At what do we got? Golden zone is above. We're at the 786, I think. Can't remember what he's got that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that tees it up. So here's the pivot he's using here for the next resistance point. 1, 2, 3. Looks like very just classic triangle going in there for a 4 with a little structure next to it. Probably do it this way as well. Support, resistance. You can see how the 4 could form right there. You could even go a little bit lower there. That's just a wick pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets us done. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this looks like it's all teed up here, right? So to have that resistance, set up the 2. So that he's really giving you a roadmap here. So here's the 1, anticipating a resistance here. And I don't think he says it couldn't get through, right? But now, right, waiting for that to get that. So here's the trade right here. And I'm sure he would agree that that's what the setup implies right there. So this, right, obviously you don't, well, is there enough there to trade the 4 to the 5? I would propose not. Now, we don't know that that's where the 5 is going to pivot, but for me, that's too much, right? My stop's got to be down here. I'm not taking that trade. That trade has already come and gone, right? Buying the first, what a great example, right? We talk about this a lot. Here's a textbook of why this makes sense. Oh, get out of there. Okay, so let's put it so you can see it. Okay, so are you comfortable buying down here? I wouldn't be. Oh shit, is that what, you know, where are we done? What Okay, maybe it's technical. That's a technical pivot. I don't know, man. I don't know if I like that. So I'm going to wait for the reaction. Okay, do I get now? You guys, we know. Right, look, it's a double bottom here. There's going to be a shitload of stops down here, right? So bears want that fuel. Right? The fact that they can't get it. Like, what do they have to do? Right about here, they start to cover. Right, we get a little gap. Oh fuck. That's what creates the 3, right? Same time, right? It's not complicated if you really think about it, right? Who's on the other side of the trade? Who's selling right here? Who's selling there? Right? What are they after? The first thing they're after is that pivot, because they're going to go run those stops. Even if it were market makers or exchanges, exchanges here, since we're talking. Well, no, but this could be market makers. So even if we come down here and pop that, you're just setting up because now we've got clear support down here. That's just the kind of thing they would do, is run the stops and then rip it. But the fact that they can't even do that, look at the bars that come off of that. That's a great example of it. And you can see here there would have been resistance there, right? There would have been an algo there. Right? It's often what you'll see, because they know they got to have muscle to get through it. There's the bar saying, we're coming through. Sorry, we're playing through. Did that for money. Okay, 1, 2. This sure looks like triangle, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, boom. Maybe, right? It's a lot to project a triangle, but at the end of the day, really triangle, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're just stalling. We're not progressing the trend, right? So classic 4 kind of material. Up here, pop your head at the 1. Now, where's the next trade, right? All right, if we get that, here's where you're looking. It's not complicated. It's really not. Now, we don't have this, right? So we don't know that that's coming, but that's a reasonable roadmap to lay out. Right? Nobody knows what's next, but we can forecast, again, what's the market supposed to do? And does it do it? Because if it doesn't do it, something else is going on. And here's what's potentially setting up. All right, your golden corner pocket, which I know Top Hat would jump all over. Right, he's basically laid it out for you. Right, here's the next piece of the puzzle right there. Right, so this is the market doing what it's supposed to do. Now again, we don't know that it stalls there, but that's a reasonable spot to forecast for it. Now, if this comes into 3, that would be what the market is supposed to do. Right. Remember, market. I say that, and I be careful about my language. The market doesn't have to do anything. It's not it's our interpretation of it, and as Elliottians to say, oh well, okay, this is a pattern that we know is prone to repeating. The market doesn't give a shit, right? And it's not like there's some magic formula here that requires that it does this. This is human emotion, fear, greed, fear. That's what creates that, not some software. Software is here to buy it if it does that. But this dynamic is human emotion, not that the market must do that. Greed, fear, right? That's all it ever is, right? Think about yourself when you're in the market. Think about this for a second. You take an entry here and it starts to go. What's the emotion you're feeling right there? Anticipation, right? It's exciting. Dopamine fires. You get a little buzz off of it, right? So, and then a little bit. Here's the next thing you start thinking: shit, maybe it'll clear that golden zone, right? That's the greed. Now it gets there, and you didn't take your profit there, right? Just to play the example out, right? Now it doesn't, and it starts to roll down. Oh fuck. Right, you feel it already, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, am I giving back all of the profit here that I just, because I bought that 4? Am I giving all that back? Fuck. So is it anger? Is it fear? What is it? Right? Is it are you regretting it? Right? So all of that emotion is factored in there. Market comes down. Oh, looks like it's going to bounce its structure. Oh, okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. There's the 2. Okay, we're going to go. Oh. Right, well, you can feel it. Right? We're going to go, man. We're going to go. I'm in it. I got it. I nailed it. There's the greed. Oh, fuck. I should have taken profit. Oh, God damn it. Why didn't I? Oh, man. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. There's the fear. Right? We've all been through that. This is what creates that. You've lived it. You've experienced it between your ears. You may not have known what you were doing, but that's what causes all of that. Hey, it looks like Zoom is moving here. That's kind of interesting. Oh, maybe I'll jump on here. It looks like we got a potential impulse here. So if you're a buyer here off of the 4 to the 5, there's somebody here thinking, oh, fuck Zoom, man. Zoom's going to the floor, man. We're going down here. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, shit. Oh, but that's all that's happening through every Elliott count that happens. That's what it is. It's not magic. It's not software. Software participates, but it's you and me create it. All right, let's wrap on that. And okay, so tomorrow I've got to go to my wife's holiday party in Dallas. So I'm going to be gone, for a day and a half, I guess. Time of the year, right? So it's a good time to take a little break. I think Monty, we kind of talked. He may do one of his. I'm going to be so no live stream tomorrow unless Monty Crypto wants to do it. Although I think you were talking about maybe going on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I may have to run out of town tomorrow as well.
Oh yeah, you're traveling too.
If I do it early, I can do. But I mean, half
the
time I say I'm going to do it early,
and you do it at 11:30.
And then 3 hours later, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah. Well.
So
all right,
I would just say there's nothing scheduled the rest of the week. But I'll obviously alert Discord and all that if we're going to do something.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a sit and wait, but it's going to be a surprise if
what do you should we do? I guess I can do Bitcoin Friday. Yeah, probably. I probably will. Right, market's not going to.
Eve, so.
Yeah, we'll do it right for a day. Fuck, that's Christmas Eve. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, Christmas is on Saturday.
Let's see. Right, if we're still in the same freaking range here, maybe not, but we'll see. I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Clarity, we could do something, I guess.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate all you guys. Hope you learn a few things along the way.
Yeah, biggest thing is, I mean, markets are always going to be there. You know, hang out with your family. You know, there's
right on.
I say that every year. Like, you know, we've got people that have been around for 3 or 4 years, and it's just we always are behind a computer, always looking at a market. And
good to take a break.
Don't just think, oh, I got to do it. You know, family can wait. So this is why
it's the exact opposite. The markets can wait.
Yeah, market's always going to be there. So.
Okay, guys. All right. Thanks to all the members for posting up content. Great contributions today. I appreciate you guys doing that for us. And we'll wrap it there and see you guys. So, we'll be back sometime soon. You guys have a good holiday.
See ya.
Bye-bye.